Welcome to Physical Computing with the Microbit Lesson 3. In this video, we're going to explore how to play music and sound effects. When it comes to the microbit, there's essentially only two ways of communicating with your user, and that's through the LEDs and through sound. So let's get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Mu editor. We can see here that we are connected to work with the microbit and that the microbit's connected. So let's go ahead and load up. Let me just get rid of that. From Microbit, load up our Microbit library. I'm going to import everything in from it. And then for today's lesson, we actually have to import another library. That's also part of the Microbit package, but it's not automatically loaded up when you load up the Microbit. And that's the music library. Let's create our physical loop, our endless loop, so our microbit is constantly executing something. And now we're ready to start playing some music. So the first part of this is music dot play. And what we can do is we can play one of the constants that are already kind of pre-programmed into this library. And again, we'll explore where we can see some of these. So it's that simple. So we do music.play, and we got to provide it, a sound. Let's go ahead and flash it. Let's save it first. And let's go to desktop, microbit, and we'll call this one lesson 3A. Let's go ahead and flash it. And again, you're not going to see anything on the LEDs, but you're going to have to listen. All right, so at this point, there's not much you can do except maybe comment out the code and flash it again. So the sounds were coming a lot quicker. So I'm actually going to increase this to a second so that there's a little more delay between the sound effects. So where can you go to kind of find out some more of these different music melodies that you can play? So let's go to the Microbit MicroPython documentation. Again, you can easily Google this to find this. And let's go to the music class here. And similar to what you learned with the images, when displaying images, there's some constants here. So let's see what else we have. Let's try birthday. I'm kind of curious to see what birthday sounds like. So let's bring this one back in. And we'll do dot birthday. Let's go ahead and save it. And let's flash it. And again, I'm going to show the camera even though you're not seeing anything. Let's go ahead and reset it. That's not too bad. Okay, it's going to play again. So at this point, I'm going to comment it out. Flash it one more time. And that's probably the easiest way to play something. But again, using the melodies, you're kind of stuck with whatever they pre-program. Well, obviously, you don't want to do that. It'd be nice for us to be able to kind of play our own songs. And I definitely welcome you to kind of read over the documentation to learn more about this. I'm going to take a slightly different approach in that I'm just going to kind of code an example. And the first one I'm going to do is song. I'm going to create a variable. And I'm going to create a list where all I'm simply going to do is list the notes that I want it to play. All right, so again, if you know about music, notes range from A to G through different octaves. Again, this is I can't even call this a song. It's really just, it's a melody of some sort. And what I can do here is I can play using the same command that we did before. except that this time I'm passing this list of notes. All right, so let's go ahead and flash that. Let's reset. It kind of sounds like the beginning of a song. I can't remember what the song is, but so there you go. All right, so at this point, let me comment this out and flash it again. Okay, so what else can we do with this? Again, if you're a little more familiar with music, notes can be played in a particular octave. So I can do C3, D3, E3, and C3. What this is doing, this is playing all the notes from that particular octave. All right, so let's flash this one. And let's go ahead and reset. So you'll notice that it sounds a little deeper. That's because the third octave, let me not talk over that. The third octave plays notes that are deeper. So if you went higher in the numbers, the notes would play, but at a higher frequency. So they're going to sound higher pitched. What's the next thing we can do? We can also specify, I'm going to do this one. Actually, no, let me do this one a little bit differently. I'm going to redo all the notes. So we'll say I'm going to play E4, the E from the fourth octave, for a duration of 4. So again, when you play music, you're going to want to play music at a certain tempo. Again, this really involves you knowing how to play music. But if you don't, then, worst case scenario, you just kind of play around with this. So you can see here, I'm going to play E4 for a duration of 4, F4 for a duration of 4, and G4 for a duration of 8. So the G4 should play a lot longer than the other two notes. Let's see what this sounds like. I kind of feel, let me, so I kind of feel if I was to combine what I showed you earlier with this actually is a song. Um, Again, I'm not a musically inclined person, but I know you can play songs with this. And one thing to appreciate, I mean, it's not going to sound great because the speaker that's on the back is not a high fidelity speaker. But again, remember what you're getting. These boards cost about maybe $30, and it's bringing so much on the board. So again, they offer a lot. It's not going to be the best quality, but again, it's pretty good. I mean, it kind of gives you a sense that you can play sound. So let's do a new file, and I'm going to show you something else we can do as well. So this is about playing notes, music. You can also play sound effects. And for that, what we're going to do is we're going to import the audio library, and we're going to get rid of this. And very similar to the music, what we're going to do is we're going to do audio dot play, and we also have some sound constants that we can use. So let's say sound dot. Actually, let me look at the website real quick. So I can't remember if it's capital or lowercase. So again, using the same Microbit, MicroPython documentation website, I am now going to click on, where was the audio? Audio is down here. And if you scroll a little bit down through it, you'll see here that, you got giggles, you got happy, hello, mysterious, sad, slide. So let's go with the giggle. What I had to look up is I wasn't sure if it was lowercase or uppercase. All right, so let's go ahead and save this. We'll do this as lesson 3B. And again, though you won't see anything, I feel compelled to have to show you the microbit as I upload it and reset the program. All right, so there it is. All right, so I mean, that's kind of a cool sounding side effect. Because again, one of the things I want you to kind of be inspired is that because of those LEDs that you have up front, those 25 LEDs, you can actually make a video game where you kind of play things on those LEDs, kind of like old school retro video games. So again, to have these kind of sound effects is kind of cool. Like if you were to crash into something or if you collect something, whatever you decide. Now I'm going to go to the website a little bit just to show you that there are ways to kind of create your own sound effects. That gets a little more sophisticated. Again, that's going to be left up to you to kind of explore on your own. I personally would suggest at the very least, just realize that you can play sound effects and that these are some built-in sound effects that you can use as part of your application. All right, so let's go back to our presentation and let's review what we've covered. So in this video, we explored how we can play music using notes that are that we can specify using a list, or use some of the melodies that are preloaded into the Microbit library inside the music class. We also saw that we can play sound effects. In terms of the sound effects that were demonstrated, we kept it very simple in that we just explored the sound effects that were prepackaged in the audio class. So hopefully you're excited about working with music and sounds as part of your microbit, and enjoy.